All right, so mindful nerd moment for Tim Drake. So I what I came up with was I was just thinking about this this kid who just really wants to help out Batman and can see how much Batman needs a Robin, and he's so earnest. And you talked about, instead of being like Gotham, he's like Gotham. And here he is, and he puts himself out there and he offers to be Robin, and then Batman just rejects him and says absolutely not.
Shut it down. Which not surprising because this
Yeah.
is this is Batman we're talking about. Like first things first, he's probably the only kid outside of like outside, like he's probably the only kid that's not terrified of Batman.
I know. So Batman is very Batman-y about the whole thing. And yeah, so he's probably the only kid not terrified, but then yeah, he just gets like knocked down. So I thought it'd be
Right.
nice to maybe, I think we've all had those moments where we have felt rejected or perhaps even been rejected. So I thought it could be good to mindfully deal with Batman rejecting your offer to become
Okay.
Robin.
I like that. I feel like
Yeah.
that would be useful for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mindful rejection.
Exactly. Mindful rejection. It's a hard one. So yeah,
Swipe left.
we might as well practice it as Tim Drake when it's not as personal to us. So
Is that how Batman chooses Robins? It's like an app and he just swipes left. It's like, nope,
what
nope,
would you call that
not orphany enough.
app? Not orphany enough. Oof.
Yeah.
All right. So sit straight but comfortably. Close your eyes if you'd like, or you can just not focus on anything in particular and focus in on your breath. You don't have to worry about breathing in any particular way. Just focus in on it as a way to help you be able to concentrate in on this mindful nerd moment. And I want you to put yourself in this situation that we've just set up. You're Tim Drake. You are you're just wanting to make sure that the Gotham has Batman, and you just see what he needs so desperately as a Robin. And yet here is Batman, and he has just rejected your offer to be Robin. And it's Batman, so he didn't sugarcoat it any. And you you realize that, you know what? Let me just try and take this in, not react in any particular way, and just notice what that rejection feels like. What are the different feelings that are hitting you? What are the thoughts you're having? What are the urges you might have? You might have the urge to argue, to disagree, to make sure that he can see all the different sides of this. Or maybe you're feeling hurt, frustrated, sad, panicked. Hey, Batman really needs a Robin, and he's not seeing it. Maybe you're also, as you step back, you're able to see where this might be coming from for Batman. You can see outside your own feelings and notice, Batman is hurting, and he's also a little stubborn. And so you're just taking in this entire experience. You're not worried yet about how you respond to Batman. You're just noticing how it feels, that rejection, the thoughts that are happening, what you feel a pull and urge to do, but you just sit with it for a moment. Because the best thing to do is to just kind of step back, remember this isn't personal, and once that kind of settles in, you'll figure out what to do next. Ready? You take a deep breath and you figure out what to say next to Bruce Wayne. All right. So fortunately, our lives aren't quite that complicated. Hopefully, most of us. So when you're ready, we're gonna start shifting back to us. We're gonna get out of this situation where we're trying to become the next Robin. So first, just take in a few deep breaths, especially because sometimes thinking about that rejection might kind of cause a little tension. So taking a few deep breaths, maybe moving your neck and your shoulders a little bit just to kind of loosen things up. And when you're ready, come back to your own space and we'll wrap up this podcast. So what'd you think? How was that rejection?
I I liked it. It was another one of those where I thought about like the other ways it could have gone. Like,
Mm.
imagine if Tim Drake had just blackmailed Batman and was like, "I know you're Bruce Wayne. Make me Robin, or the world will know too." Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
that could have
And think
been.
about how that would have gone, right? Or another thing too is a lot of times with rejection, people might just get really passionate about it. They want to fight their case, they might get defensive, they're feeling hurt. And so they act, react. And here's the irony. Here's Batman who does not have the best anger management out
Right.
there. But you know what he respects most is someone who can step back and process through
That's true.
and then respond, right? So this is a great example of why mindfulness can be so useful because Tim Drake really needs to at least have some components of it in order to respond in a way where Batman's going to be more likely to take him on as Robin in the future.
Right. I definitely like that one, but also like this is one of those that I feel like it definitely can relate so much to the real world. Like I was joking
Yes.
about swiping left or right
Mhm.
before we started, but also, a job interview that didn't go well,
Yep.
a bad day at work,
Mhm.
this is right in that realm. Like, no, we're not trying to become Batman's next sidekick, but
Maybe someone out there is, I don't know.
we are
But
hoping for good news on LinkedIn, right?
exactly. Yeah, and rejection is everywhere and sometimes it's not even technically a rejection, but it can feel like rejection,
Yes.
cuz rejection, I think the technical definition of that is that someone is actively saying no to you, right?
Right.
Versus sometimes it might not be that direct or someone might not even know that you're feeling that sense of rejection, but it's happening
That's
for
true.
you.
Yes.
But yeah, that sense of rejection happens all the time, and it can be a really tricky one to kind of figure out what to do with. So once I kind of came up with that for Tim Drake, I was like, ooh, I gotta have Keaton try that one.
I dig it. Yeah, I dig it. I liked it.